Look at how thin he is.
A definition of adventure is an activity that comprises risky, dangerous and uncertain experiences. This couldn't have been truer for a group of Kiwi anglers who had travelled to Cairns, Australia to begin an adventure to the remote Cape York Peninsula in far north Queensland. Like any expedition to remote parts, preparation is essential and having the right provisions a necessity. Many of the species of fish and fishing techniques were new to these anglers, who sought valuable advice from the local experts. A 25 kg baggage limit can be hard for some people to stick to. To get to Cape York, you can take a domestic flight on board a 26-seater Brasilia that takes 1 hour 45 minutes, flying over tropical rainforests and parts of the Great Barrier Reef, or a nearly 700-kilometre journey by four-wheel drive over treacherous roads. Cape York is the northernmost point of the Australian continent. From the tip, it's only 160 kilometres to Papua New Guinea, across the Torres Strait. The west coast borders the Gulf of Carpentaria and the east coast the Coral Sea. Compared to the arid dryness of the Northern Territory, the Cape York region is relatively lush. Cape York has two seasons, the dry season and the wet season. The dry season is between May and November, and the wet is between November and April. In 1990, the Cape York Land Council was formed, giving Aboriginals management of the Cape York region. The whole population for the region is around 18,000, made up mainly of Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders.
So basically this is just exactly like that. So Kerry and Lawrence front left.
Travelling to such a remote destination, safety briefings and organisation are essential.
Life jackets.
There's no second chances if you make mistakes in this area.
And if there is any kind of an emergency or we have to abandon ship or anything, the muster station's on the back deck. Otherwise, if it isn't the back deck, we have a fire on the back deck or something, they would just listen to the crew. It'll probably be the front of the boat on the bow. And water, one of our most important things here is water. We don't have a desal on board.
Tropic Paradise is a purpose-built 19-metre wave-piercing catamaran with all the luxuries of home, including air conditioning. Due to the shallow draft, longboats will be used to access remote river mouths and mangrove creeks. Most of the fishing is done with hard-bodied diving lures that are either trolled or cast. With a large amount of fish that have very sharp teeth, a short length of single-strand wire is attached by a hay wire twist. This is to prevent the lures being bitten off. As well as the hard-bodied lures, slim metal jigs that represent baitfish are another popular lure. The crew were going to be fishing with high-tech spinning reels and graphite rods, loaded with the most modern super braid line. This equipment could stop even the largest fish, even though it looked relatively light. The barbs on treble hooks were flattened to make releasing fish easy, and as a safety measure so that they can be easily removed if an angler is hooked. The boat would steam during the night to one of the many river mouths that offered safe anchorage. This was a chance for the anglers to catch up on some rest before the day ahead, or so they thought. Attracted by the boat lights, baitfish were soon being preyed on by hungry predators. The oxeye herring, or tarpon, is a smaller relative of the Atlantic and the Indo-Pacific tarpons, the Atlantic being the larger, growing to over 100 kilos, whereas the Aussie tarpon rarely exceeds 2 kilos. However, what they lack in size, they certainly make up for in spectacular jumps and speed when hooked. Tarpon have the unique ability to breathe air by taking gulps from the surface. The average temperature in Cape York in October is around 30 to 35 degrees. The water temperature is also about 28 degrees. Preparation for each morning's fishing included tackle checks, safety equipment like sunscreen and insect repellent, and ensuring you had plenty of liquid to keep you hydrated. The whole Gulf of Carpentaria is relatively flat and shallow, with water depths only reaching 15 metres miles offshore. The wind during winter and spring is predominantly offshore and can vary from light zephyrs to a persistent 30-knot breeze. The amount of sea life is prolific in the Gulf. Large schools of small tuna, mackerel and sharks are everywhere.
Going under the boat. There he comes. Nice little Mac tuna.
Mackerel tuna get their name by the broken diagonal lines on their back. A fast swimming pelagic that can grow up to 14 kilos, mackerel tuna can be found in large schools around most of the Central Pacific. They are usually caught casting small metal lures that imitate the kind of prey they eat.
Oh, here it is. Oh, it's hooked in the belly.
Top in the belly.
Nice golden trevally. No wonder she was caught. There he is. Beautiful. That's a belly hooked, eh?
Nice fish.
Nice fish, yeah it is. Oh, no.
One of the premier sport fish around Cape York is the golden trevally. Often found around reefs and estuaries, this hard-fighting member of the jack species is said to attain a weight of up to 30 kilos.
Beautiful, nice golden trevally. Nice fish, good condition, we'll let him go. Beautiful. Good one, woo!
G'day, I'm Macca, one of the guides. Up here in Tropical Paradise in Cape York. Just a bit of rundown on the fishing we do. We got 3 styles of fishing. Estuary fishing, hard body lures, soft plastics up the estuaries. Good to catch some barra and jacks. And we do fly fishing on the flats, chasing permit, which is the holy grail, or golden trevally. Plus we fly fish up the estuaries as well and out wide. Sink some deep ones down into around bait balls, as well as trawling, which is one of my favourites, and yeah, pick up the odd nice fish and good deep divers and over a bit of rubble patches. It's all good. Come and join us.
The elder statesman of the team, Kerry Mawhinney, was definitely showing the younger anglers how things were done.
Island country. Oh! Let him run. A bit of a pump, Gary. A lot of pressure there. Yeah. Feels like a bit of weight there. You might be foul hooked. Brick. Dead in the water, whatever. Hopefully it's got a bit of weight to it. He's coming in backwards though. See his tail first. Nice little spotted mackerel.
Now a hooked fish, eh?
Without doubt, one of the most common species of predatory fish off Cape York are the mackerel family. There are 4 main species of mackerel: school mackerel, spotted mackerel, grey mackerel, and the largest is the Spanish mackerel, highly prized as both sport and table fish. Trolling around where the birds are feeding, with diving lures set at different depths, helps you find where the fish are feeding.
Trying to catch a strike. Yo!
Yeah, it's on. When the lure's got no action, you can see the rod tip's not vibrating.
Due to the aggressive nature of mackerel, strikes are often missed as these fast-swimming fish slash at the lures, often not hooking up or foul hooking. When in a feeding frenzy, mackerel will strike at anything, including the bubbles caused by the line going through the water when another fish is hooked. Australia's saltwater crocodile is the largest of all living reptiles. An adult male can grow to an excess of 5 metres. Although fairly shy and retiring during the day, extreme care must be taken at all times, but especially at dawn and after dark. Saltwater crocodiles will eat just about anything, including fish, wild pigs and birds. The only threat to an adult saltwater crocodile is another crocodile. Capable of incredible bursts of speed when attacking from the water, crocodiles are also very fast on land. Most attacks on humans are fatal, given the animal's size and incredible strength. Crocodiles are not the only early morning visitors in the estuaries in the Gulf of Carpentaria. Another fish is attracted to the boat by a certain flushing sound.
Got him. Ooh. He's away now. Oh, round the front.
The whole body is retired.
Round the front.
Few laps in here.
There he is. Beautiful, look at that. Wonderful, batfish. Look, I'll be able to get the hook out. Right there, look at that.
The batfish is almost circular. About 20% of its body length is fin-shaped, making it like a big rudder. It is incredibly strong, no doubt due to its high fibre diet.
Look at that, beautiful batfish. Wonderful, never seen one before. Let him go, eh? Look at that. Oh, put him in. Here we go. Beautiful.
Much of the fishing is done within half a mile of the beach. Trolling speeds are quite fast, anything up to 7 or 8 knots.
Take a bit on this fella. Right. Stand back. Stand back. Smooth it out, Sean.
No. We dropped the first three. We finally got one on.
Taking a liking to a Halco laser. Shallow diver. Got a bit of go to him.
Yeah, Phil, mate, there's a few happening down here. So I dropped the first three, now we're on a good one now. Hopefully with Spanish, still a bit like a rocket. You have a troll around, mate.
Right, so it's a bit hard to tell what we've got here. It's either a good sized Spanish mackerel or we're possibly hooked onto a shark. But we're trying some lighter gear than we did yesterday just to try and give us a little bit more action on the line. She's starting to come in now.
Mawhinney. Yep. Just relate close to the boat, just take a dive. Spin around. Don't look up.
You beauty. Look at that.
That damn one. Alright.
What a beautiful fish, and that's what we're here for. That's unbelievable.
Definitely the queen of tropical sport fish. Queenfish are powerful, fast swimming, and will leap clear of the water with head-shaking jumps.
Okay, so it's time to give them back.
Care must be taken when handling these stunning looking queenfish, as they have a row of needle-like fins in front of their dorsal that can inflict a serious injury. The longboats are equipped with 40 horsepower outboards and are very seaworthy, although a little wet. The crew are issued with handheld GPSs to locate reef and rubble patches that are likely to hold fish. VHF radios are used for boat-to-boat communication, which is especially handy when the crew get into a hot bite.
spotted mackerel. Just a little fella.
I think we'll try and work along the edge and work the gutters where it comes off the shallow sandbank. And let's see if there's any bigger stuff hanging down in the little gutters. Right. Don't know what this is. Just coming up onto the sandbank. So I don't know what we got here. Moving across the front. Going down, good shake. City. No idea what this will be. It's got a bit of gas. Little reef shark.
Sharks are prolific in the Gulf of Carpentaria. It is an ideal feeding ground with a large amount of sea life there. Sharks will often eat a hooked fish from an angler's line. Many recognised man-eaters can be found cruising the waters off Cape York, including the tiger shark and the ferocious bull shark. Upstream from the river mouths are a huge network of mangrove creeks leading right up to fresh water. The variety of different species of fish that live in these estuaries is incredible.
Well, yeah, we've just hooked up on a diamond trevally. Beautiful looking fish.
Good fish.
Turn around. You beauty, look at that. What a beautiful fish. On the old soft bait. Have a look at that. That is beautiful.
Check it out, thin he is.
The mirror-like diamond trevally is one of the most stunning looking fish that feeds amongst the mangroves. As the tide ebbs and flows, the predators start to hunt over the shallow sandbars at the river mouth, as the bait gets concentrated by the push of the tide.
What are you using there?
Bit of soft bait. It's amazing these fish just come out of nowhere, don't they? Look at that.
I love the sand flats too.
Yeah. Luck's going under the boat. It's not a bad goldie.
No, goldie.
Look at that, will you?
Beautiful.
Thanks, Sharky.
Not a problem, mate.
Well, we're happy about that one. Just keep on coming, all those fish. You never know what you're going to get next.
Good relief if you want to go to walk too.
That's about, I don't know, it's about 3.5, 4 kilos golden trevally. Absolutely grab the soft bait and weight for size. These fish are pretty powerful. Might just let them go now. The mangrove rivers fish best on the last 2 hours of the outgoing tide. Nutrient-rich water pours out from the mangroves and gets funneled into channels. Predators will hang around the snags and structures, ambushing small fish and crustaceans. Casting right among the snags is the best way to target these ambush predators. The mangrove trees make up an important part of the whole ecosystem for Cape York. They're a nursery for everything that breathes and lives up there. Cautionary note, when wading the shallow sandbars around these mangrove rivers, you never know who might be watching you.
Don't know if it's very big. Little Queenie. Beautiful.
One of Australia's most iconic fish is the barramundi. This bronze silver fish has large scales and a ghostly looking eye. They will lay in wait and inhale their prey by opening their large mouth, causing a plopping sound.
Baby barra.
Barramundi can reach lengths exceeding 1 metre and grow to over 25 kilos.
This is the first barra for the morning. It's rather small, but I think it's big brothers under there, and there's some more aggressive creatures there we'll catch in a minute. Comfort lift, come on buddy.
Part of any adventure is the unknown or unexpected. Angling can be much like this, especially when the fish are on the bite. With the fish biting freely in the blustery conditions, anglers' balance, tackle and skill are tested to the limit.
On the bottom or mid-water?
They're halfway down. Are they coming up here with this one here?
No. Yeah, there it is.
go. Is he on?
Yep.
Drag.
Drop straight in there, bud. Got it, mate.
The anglers, exhausted from the action, headed back to the mothership to recoup. On their arrival, they were met by some guests who had come for lunch.
The idea is when it takes it, you've got to lift the groper out of the water. That's all it is, that's the idea. Keep the head up and you'll lift them out of the water. It's called the groper lift. Got that, Waddy? You got that, Waddy? I think so. Go right in with it.
The Queensland Groper is one of the largest bony fishes. It can grow to over 600 kilos and reach a length of 3 metres. It is one of the few fish that has been known to fatally attack humans. Although populations of Queensland Groper are not declining, they are protected so as not to become threatened in the future. Giant Queensland Groper feed on a variety of foods, including fish, turtles, crustaceans and small sharks, and they are all swallowed whole.
Was it a lemon shark?
Although very remote, the whole shoreline of the Gulf of Carpentaria is littered by nets that have been left by the Indonesian fishermen. One of the main problems in the Torres Strait is shark finning. The shark populations are dwindling, and this can affect the whole ecosystem.
Big lemon sharks just turned up.
Unbelievable.
After a week of intense fishing, It was time for our anglers to pack away their once sparkling lure, take care of some necessary first aid, and reflect on the adventure that they just had.
It's really important when you come to a tropical place like the Gulf of Carpentaria that you bring the best insect repellent that money can buy. It is also important when you come to the Gulf of Carpentaria to put it on before you start getting bitten. These sandflies did this damage in less than a minute, and the net result is that you spend best part of a week in absolute itching agony, and in the worst case scenarios you can actually get yourself in a lot of trouble and need to go to hospital. So heed the advice. It's a fantastic part of the world up here, but it doesn't take any prisoners.
I've got to say this is the best fishing I've had in my life, really, and everything was going just fantastic. We got the biggest fish that I've ever seen and the biggest variety, and then just couldn't get any better, but all of a sudden, whack, this blinking marlin got on the line, and it's just fantastic. It's a good battle. It was reasonably light gear for catching a marlin. Well, we weren't necessarily looking for them. It wasn't something that crossed my mind, but very, very happy to have scored the big one.
One of the reasons we came out to the Gulf of Carpentaria was to get into the amazing species and variety of fish that exist out here. There's virtually no one else around in the area, so the fishing is just prolific, and the warm water as well is fantastic. I went out with a couple of good friends, Sean and Lawrence, and our guide Sharky, and we had the most incredible experience. About 2 hours, this early morning session where everything was on the bite. And we decided that morning to use some really light gear and have some fun. We saw some dolphins circling and beating up on some fish, and we went for a bit of a lure through that, and we had a double hookup. We got a golden Trevally and also a long-tailed tuna, and the boys played those for a while on the light tackle. And then we commenced another trawl, and my line got taken by something pretty big. And initially we thought it was a shark, and wrote it off as being that. And after a little bit of playing with this beast, it sort of panned out and started to display signs of being something else, and the interest levels on the boat started to rise. And we managed to get it up to the surface a couple of times, and it turned out to be the biggest cobia that even Sharky, our guide, had seen. It was pretty exciting stuff. So to play a big beast like that on really light line was an experience of a lifetime. The guys really enjoyed it, and there's a fair bit of excitement back on the mothership when the guys started calling in and asking what the world record was for cobia on such light tackle. So good day out. Everyone enjoyed themselves.